Hi, my name is Faith Payne, and today we're going to talk about auxiliary and capital budgets in higher education. The objectives of this presentation are to define auxiliary budgets, capital budgets, and how economics affect enrollment in higher education. We're then going to apply how auxiliary budgets, capital budgets, and economic factors all affect enrollment in Gamma Community College. Let's first talk about different types of budgets. There's the operational budget. This budget is what we consider as the day-to-day running of an institution of higher education. It helps support faculty salary, it pays for the lights, it pays for different utilities. It's also what we look at when it comes to revenue from tuition, from gifts, from state funding. Many different things contribute to bringing revenue in to help with the operational budget. There are two specialized budgets that we're going to talk about today, and they're auxiliary and capital budgets, and we're going to define those in just a moment. Enrollment managers are expected to be the experts on research related to how we recruit and retain students. Today we're going to talk about how we look at pricing of tuition and how that can impact how many students we are able to enroll at Gamma Community College. So let's first look at auxiliary budgets. Auxiliary budgets are revenue producing. That's what their expectation is. Auxiliary budgets are not part of the normal day-to-day education of students, which is our primary mission here at Gamma Community College. They help support them. An example of auxiliary budget is the bookstore, student counseling center. If we had a health clinic, this would all be an auxiliary budget. It's part of the budget, but we really don't expect to use revenue from student tuition to help pay the auxiliary budget. We can have student fees that help contribute to this budget. There can be fees for services, but we're looking at the auxiliary budget as a way to bring revenue into the college and help with the operational budget. The auxiliary budget is often a service that is identifiable to a specific subgroup at the institution of higher education. Barr and McClellan give the example of an athletic center. Not every student's going to take advantage of that, but the students who do, that will be part of their fees. A capital budget refers to building physical buildings at the institution of higher education. When we look at capital budgets, we look at permits, insurance, as we're building on the actual building, accessories to do the building. It doesn't necessarily mean a new building. It may be refurbishing an old building. Sometimes our buildings come in need of repair, and so we have to have a budget to help meet that. This is generally quite a big expense, and it's like a one-time expense. Funding for a capital budget can come from different sources. Excuse me. These sources can be from the state. They can ask for a grant or ask for a lottery for these capital budget items. We may have to do fundraising for a capital budget item, but there's a lot that needs to be considered. When we're building a new building, we need chairs, we need technology, we need all of these things, so they must be considered. The economic perspective on aid and enrollment. Enrollment managers play a key role in tuition pricing policies. They are the experts. They spend time researching how different pricing will affect our enrollment. If our tuition goes up too much, what is that going to mean for students coming in? What will that mean for retaining students if we see increasing prices in tuition? How much can we increase tuition before it becomes a factor in decreasing enrollment? These are all things that need to be considered. Financial aid can be huge for our students as well as for the institution itself. Financial aid helps pay the institution. Many of our students won't be able to pay out of pocket to get their degree. So how can we help them obtain their degree and help support our financial side as well? And some of that is through financial aid, through getting grants, and having student loans and different things where we are able to get the revenue we need to continue to educate our students while still getting our students to come to our institution. So let's look at how we can apply this to Gamma Community College. So we have a student counseling center here. So part of the way that we obtain revenue for the student counseling center, because we have to pay the counselors, they will not counsel our students for free, nor should they. And so we have to look at paying for the building, paying for the counselors, paying for the space, making sure that they have appropriate technology to do the charting that they need to do. So one way we can make sure that this is taken care of is through our student fees, where that's just part of our student fees. Part of that comes and pays for the student counseling center. We can also charge a reasonable fee, a very low fee, for services that students obtain at the student counseling center, where it's still cost effective and students get what they need, as they deal with different issues related to mental health and making sure that they transition well in the college environment. While the Student Counseling Center is not a normal day-to-day operational budget item, it is something that's important and sits on the outskirts of our mission, where we help support our students and help retain them as well. Capital budget would be something like building a new workforce building here at Gamma Community College. We need to raise enough funds to build the building. We need the materials. We need to accessorize the building. We need whatever technology is needed for that particular workforce building. If we built a building for our nursing program, we would need a lab. We would need mannequins. We would need all of these different items. We wouldn't necessarily have to keep making the same purchase, but we would need it initially and make sure that we have everything we need. Another part of the capital budget is involving our faculty, involving our different stakeholders and asking them, what do you need in this building to help make our students successful? When we look at pricing at a community college, we can follow the example of Grimes and Lind. They looked at pricing over 30 years and looked at how it affected raising the cost of tuition, how that affected enrollment, and it's called elasticity. And what they do is they look at how changing just this one thing will affect enrollment when we hold all the other factors stable. So that's something that we need to be mindful of. If we look at raising prices, how will this affect our enrollment? Because our enrollment and not having tuition and things like that will affect our bottom line as well. We have to look at how much it will cost to add students as well. Will we have to add more faculty? Will we have to add more chairs? Will we have to make a bigger lecture space? So all of these things are important for us to look at. In conclusion, we've looked at these two specialized budgets. We play an important role here at Gamma Community College, making sure that we know the different and know how our pricing will affect enrollment. And these are references if you'd like to look up and have further information. Thank you so much for your time.